To that one guy who keeps asking for Reign of Supermen. Peep Game. It's been 6 months since Superman perished in his fate on Doomsday. Damn near immediately, 4 Supermen try to fill the power vacuum Clark left, and Lois is looking for answers by investigating these new frauds. So she goes to Lex Luthor's gender reveal party, but the colors turn out to be blue, red, and yellow, as Connor Kent is announced to Metropolis, a genetic clone using Superman and Lex Luthor's DNA, making him the only Kryptonian or human to have 2 dads, and it takes all of like 2 minutes for Lois Lane to find this out. But before she can whistleblow then and there at the party, Lex almost gets executed by one of the Superman imposters, the Eradicator, a guardian built by Krypton, designed for the express purpose to keep Krypton pure, often via mass murder. As Lex and Lois returns to the party and finds Superboy getting thugged out, he tries to shoot an eradication beam at Luthor's shiny ass forehead, but this slimy ass nigga uses some random party guess as a meat shield. Got that boy running for his life. Bro lines up the shot and gets his aim perfect, but Lois saves Luthor at the last second. Eradicator gears up to send him to Timbuktu, but Connor mollywobs him in time and does some air combos to get him on the ground.
Whew, mamma mia.
You have been classified a Priority 1 criminal accessory. Surrender or be eradicated.
Eradicator tries to up the beam again, but this Injustice back X move has landed perfectly on his noggin, leaving him open for a couple Kryptonian haymakers, which he eats to the face like an afternoon snack. He picks little bro up and tosses him like a stone, has his body bouncing across the floor long enough to get in position for this down smash, puts belt to ass till Connor can't stand, and gears up for what has to be a final blow. Superboy is praying to a higher power not to get eradicated, but he gets deflected at the last moment by this fake ass Mjolnir, and fake eye Iron Man happens to be the wielder. He tries to swing around the hammer, but his handles are not at Reinhardt level, so he gets touched with a life-altering southpaw. Luthor gets threatened once again, so another one of these imposter Supermen show up. Cyborg Superman, with more chrome than Atom Smasher. He stops an eradication beam with his bare hands and knuckles up with a mano-a-mano. The building gets turned to dust, and the media shows up to interview Cyborg Superman, who claims to be the genuine article. He even shows up on Lois Lane's balcony at 2 a.m. to try to convince her. Said that somehow the Kryptonian technology brought him back. Lex Luthor gets Superboy a job with the Justice League on protective detail for the president himself. Green Lantern aims a cannon at the back of his head and threatens to pull a trigger, but I don't even know why he joking like he don't get his ass beat in every one of these movies. The rally gets attacked by the goddamn mosquitoes of this universe, parademons, revealing that the dark nigga himself masterminded this ambush. The Justice League do their best to contain the situation, but you can't handle an army of parademons without a proper Superman, as Cyborg Superman is just standing there menacingly. Get out of there, SpongeBob! During the chaos of the fight, Darkseid uses the opportunity to isekai the Justice League, trapping them in an alternate dimension, as Superboy is repeating a trope of getting tossed around. I don't know who got done worse, him or Green Lantern. These parademons are on timing. Jumping is their only skill set.
Before you hear from anybody else, nigga, I got jumped in LA by some pussy ass niggas, and they jumped me, nigga. Nobody gave me the faith of a one-on-one, nigga. Nobody gave me the respect of a one-on-one, and I painted that nigga when he was on the ground.
Apparently, they're living in a timeline where Hillary Clinton won.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
What in the fuck, Superboy?
Did you write that dumb shit on a teleprompter?
No?
And right before she gets executed by these parademons, Cyborg Superman saves the day, cementing himself as the one true Superman in the eyes of the public. And I was gonna say Lex and Connor's relationship is kind of wholesome in this movie, but after he fails to prove himself as the main Superman, he takes him down to the basement where he was made and genuinely almost euthanizes him with a kryptonite needle. Imagine euthanizing your only genetic child because they lost a fucking fight. He doesn't even think of him as like less of a human or something.
The only difference between you and a biological child is that I've invested a hell of a lot more capital to bring you to the party.
What do you imagine bro would do to his naturally born child if he got some C's in class? Lois is still on the case trying to figure out what's the deal with all these Supermen. So she follows Cyborg Superman until he lands at some grave. Seems odd, which leads her to break into Steele's apartment like this bitch was Batman or something. He's like, how did you know my identity? You made the suit fit your form almost exactly, man. Out of 1,000 people lineup, I can still identify you as this guy. They researched Terry Henshaw to figure out that was the name of an astronaut that went missing. And her husband, who was also an astronaut that went missing on the same expedition, looks a lot like Superman. From that, they easily put together that Cyborg Superman is a guy named named Hank Henshaw who got kidnapped and used as a puppet by Darkseid. And don't you miss the days in superhero media when girl boss characters were at least competent at their jobs? Look, they're not even telling you how intelligent she is through verbal dialogue. Cyborg Superman holds an announcement at Times Square Metropolis. Says that the Kryptonian nigga chain technology is his gift to humanity and starts turning random civilians into super soldiers with these amulets.
My son Oren thinks he bridged to nigga chain AI layer 2.
We are receiving programming, we are watching video, we are learning.
Learning what?
Nigga chain AI layer 2.
Becoming so brainwashed they can't even recognize Peak when they see it.
Do you require further assistance? Have a pleasant day, citizen.
Aaron?
So Steel and Lois splits up. Lois goes to LexCorp to try to figure out more about Cyborg Superman, while Steel tracks a shipment of alien tech. This leads him into the Fortress of Solitude somehow, where he finds the Smoke Demon, the Eradicator, the best security system on the Kryptonian market. He must have wanted a run back. It's on sight. He tries to kill this nigga with his bare hands. Steel is trying to hold out, but it's simply not fair. Lex hacks into Steel's suit so he can see through his camera feed, giving Superboy a front seat to this ass whooping. Homie is getting spanked out of his short till Superman wakes up like Drac out of the revival pod. He pulls a stop. That's enough. And I'd glaze the suit if only it was faithful to the comics. You can't tell me this shit doesn't go harder by an order of magnitude. Due to being freshly dead, Superman isn't at peak form. So he hops in the spaceship and all three of them go to have a nice peaceful conversation with Hank.
Meanwhile,
Darkseid is putting his grand plans in motion, militarizing his newly brainwashed forces, putting all the pieces together to start his invasion. And with Superman thought to be dead and the Justice League missing, who's gonna stop him? If it wasn't for the realest nigga in the DC universe, Bebo Lebowski, riles up a resistance to fight Darkseid's army. Too bad that most of them are going to die horrifically. Where do they have guns? Where are the arms? Lois and Lex put together this plan to open a boombox at the base of the Watchtower. Yada yada, you know that's not gonna work. Lex Luthor does too, so he stays outside to operate the boombox while Lois Lane goes in to cause a distraction. As soon as he finds out that Superman is actually alive, he gets on comms and starts rage baiting hard as fuck once again, revealing that Hank is currently slapping his woman around. Turns out Hank wants to kill Superman because he didn't save him and his wife, those two that got hit by Doomsday on his way to Earth. So Lois uses his pure bloodlust for Superman to convince him to turn against Darkseid.
I thought Superman was yours. You're just gonna hand him to Darkseid? Wow.
I'm trying to catch him.
I wanna catch him!
What's gonna happen when you catch him?
I'm a with him. Not with him. I ain't gay.
They start bickering about who gets to box Superman, so Darkseid just speeds up the plan by activating the mother box in his chest, causing all of his slave soldiers to mold together into one giant portal in the most horrifying way possible. That's some absolute Joker shit. This nigga Hank is so dedicated to violating Superman himself. He rips a chunk out of his brain, then pries the mother box out of his ribcage. Gotta respect the dedication. Superman crashes into the room to cut off Hank's freaky ass monologue.
Swear to God, I'll kiss you in your mouth, spit in your mouth, and slap you before I blast you. One false move will cost you. These lames will cross you. Don't let the game...
Thinks he could just reunite with fine shit having just squashed Cyborg Superman like a bug, but he hot potatoes this shit right back, has all the time in the world to pin down Lois, and slimes out Clark all in a 30-second time frame. This nigga is a full swing crash out. You were upset that Superman couldn't save you while he was getting his ass beat. He defeated the thing that actually caused your wife's death, and he's fucking working for Darkseid, who sent Doomsday. Steel and Superboy are putting belt to ass on the army outside of the Watchtower. Lex figures out a way to get the Justice League back so they can save the day, but Hank makes the 500 IQ move of just launching the Watchtower. You know, an orbital space station meant to be in space. Nobody could have seen that coming. So now Clark has to deal with a cyborg imposter Superman, while Lois Lane is bolted to the wall as the Watchtower goes into space. But he puts up a good fight even when the odds are against him. And nigga, the odds are against him. He tried electrocuting the robot, tried punching the robot. It even looks like he tried to block punches with his face. And Lois Lane seeing her man get sauced walk like this gives her an epiphany. Open the radiation shield so Clark can absorb all of the sunlight, doing the work that PS4 Mary Jane thinks she does. Far more difficult than any of that bitch's stealth missions. Now that he's at full power, he slices off Hank's arm with ease. This nigga thinks he has the upper hand because Superman doesn't kill.
You won't kill me. and I won't stop until I kill you.
Maybe, but he does have no problem leaving you in a catatonic state, as he stabs this guy in the forehead with some sort of crystal, putting him in an infinite Tsukiyomi, while also breaking his control over the army, giving Clark the chance to make out with fine shit during the sunset like every Superman movie. It's odd how much that happens. And Superman is back in action like shit never happened, more cheeked up than ever, bringing peace and balance to the realms like the Avatar. If you want to see how he got killed by the greatest op to ever live in the first place, watch this video. Beside that, like, subscribe, and
Where the fuck should I really even...
Don't worry, brother. We together will spread Christmas spirit.
I got hoes that I'm keeping in the dark. I got my knees crossed, thinking back to the fact that they dead on my raps when